Welcome to True Breakdowns, hosted by Trey.
Welcome to True Breakdowns with your host, Trey. Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe button, and the notification bell. Now let's get into the nitty gritty. You see what's going on. Poetic Flakko is getting a little bit more confident now that he's got a law enforcement connect down in LA. Now, what I've noticed with Poetic Flakko is that he was starting off pretty friendly with these gangbangers, but as things progressed, I don't know, they might have, been trying to intimidate him and extort him a little too much, and then he had the flip side.
They're trying to tie bigger fish into a grand conspiracy. I know that for a fact, but again, like that's been the holdup, right? The person who did it, they're not really they already got him hook, line, and sinker. There's
rumors that Draco's alleged killer just got caught for another offense not related to Drakeo the Ruler, and he's currently either in custody or they might have let him go, because I know they're trying to expand this case to get bigger fish. I mean, that's usually what the feds do when they want bigger players. Is what they'll do is they'll let go of the pawns to get more intel to strengthen their case. Usually for Ricos they'll do this.
No rush. If you knew the circumstances, you would say there's no rush to even get that person in custody. There's no rush there because they obviously already got him, right? But the bigger fish is the reason why they're building this conspiracy, and they're not rushing to just get somebody they already got because, they've already got him, if that makes sense, right? So that bigger fish, though, that's the holdup. They're trying to build this you feel me, like this grand conspiracy. Now, here's the thing, though. When I put out what I said,
and that's what you need to know, is the person who actually deleted Drakeo, he's really a nobody. He is a gang member, but I don't even think he was directly in the beef. I just think that, he followed orders from people in the gang that he wanted to prove himself to. And that's usually how gang members move.
People and how they were reacting, there was not a street dude in LA that was shocked, right? Because niggas was coming to me like, oh man, hey man, you about to say it? Hey man, we want to see this.
Yeah.
Because this is
if you're from LA, you know who did it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know who did it. You can see it in the comment sections of posts and videos, and there are little innuendos of affiliates dropping gems and breadcrumbs on who did it, and then from there you could pretty much make your conclusion.
An open secret. The person who did it has been openly bragging about it, right? They claim this as a trophy. Right. This is not no shocker for him, right? We all are already know who did it. But fortunately for them, I didn't know sooner, right? My source came from the actual police. And then once I got my source, I had to identify and figure out what's going on. And then I got the full story.
One thing's for sure. I know these gangbangers working at No Jumper are going to be walking on eggshells around Flakko, especially now that he's revealed that he has, law enforcement and investigators as plugs. There's really nothing to talk to him about anymore. But for the life of me, I can't understand why they're even going up to No Jumper anyway, giving up information and telling stories, even as much as they try to conceal them.
All right. But I know for a fact 100% who murdered that person. I know for a fact,
without a shadow of a doubt, 100%.
100% I know who murdered that person. Right? I know who did it. I know for a fact why the police have not made an arrest yet. And people, for some reason, man, are upset about it. I'm like, hold on. Why do we want murderers to run free? Right? If we all are acknowledging that somebody killed somebody and we know they killed somebody based off some hate and shit, then why wouldn't we want that person locked up? Now, I'm not trying to get nobody locked up. I just feel like my job as a journalist.
I think Flakko's angle is he just wants more attention on his platform. And if he can do, something good that, that's morally grounded, then that's even more of a plus. But I don't think Flacco really cares about any of those gang members that he claims to be friends with at No Jumper, but he will use them as stories and content.
Is to say, listen, the police got you. Here's the paperwork where they got you. I'm just giving the information the police got. Now, I feel like as a street nigga.
So what you really doing is notifying the public that they've actually found who they've been looking for. That's just what you're saying. Your job.
Pretty sure they already knew years ago. They just didn't really have I don't think that prosecuting for rappers was on their agenda yet. Until it became a federal agenda.
The fans have been wondering what's going on, what's the update. I'm letting them know. No, the world already know who killed that person. It's kind of like here, right? Like the Tupac situation. All right. The world knew who killed Tupac, but for some reason, like Las Vegas PD was just, like dragging their feet.
Talk about this. Gosh darn.
Is it on the screen?
You want to read that,
Lush, for us?
All right, man. I don't even like this, bro. But it is what it is, bro. You feel me? So obviously,
I don't know if Flacco had a sit down with Ralphie the Plug, who's Draco's brother, but it looks like he's pivoting on a lot of the relationships he had on No Jumper, because some of the stuff I would see with Flacco, it seemed like he was cool with a lot of the co-hosts there, especially Munchie B, who's also, involved in a lot of the beef with Draco. But he would deny that he's never met Draco and that they've never had any encounters. But in Flacco's regard, he seems to be doing a whole rollout, for content.
see, there's been a lot of controversy between our own Munchie B and Poetic Flakko, and it stems from a lot of things. Flakko was alluding to releasing the identity of the murderer of Drakeo the Ruler. Long live the greatest rapper of all time, Drakeo the Ruler. You feel me? My favorite rapper. So you feel me? It's a horrible situation. A very good friend of the platform as well, and shouts to his entire family.
Some of you may be wondering, why won't they say who the killer is? And that's because they're trying to protect the killer, more so protect YG, who is the main figure that I'm pretty sure they want to go after, because the guy who actually did the killing is just a low level gangbanger. He's a nobody. He's not an artist. He's not a rapper, to my knowledge, if it's the guy I think it is.
There is back and forth between him and Munchie. Like, obviously, like, Munchie's not involved in this or whatever, but it just like had to do with just them going back and forth and implications. And I'm not really sure. Like, some of it kind of even didn't make sense to me. Why?
So it looks like Poetic Flakko has, caused some controversy at No Jumper. So some people might be getting fired, but I don't think it's going to be Poetic Flakko. From what I heard, Munchie B requested for Poetic Flakko to get fired. He asked Adam, and he asked Adam to block whatever Poetic Flakko's doing. But I don't think Adam has any control over Poetic Flakko.
The argument was going on, but Flakko put on his IG story just now, like an hour ago. He said the killer will be revealed soon. None of the names being thrown around is the killer. Dropping Friday at 2 p.m. # we know the truth. Now, like, I understand Flakko is media. He doing his job. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like information like this being teased, but, I understand it's media. Like, I know the way the game works, so I don't. But I don't.
They got like this weird dynamic at No Jumper where you got majority of the hosts trying to uphold their street code, and then some of the co-hosts who just don't give a shit. But as you notice, the ones who don't give a shit have the biggest platform.
How do y'all feel?
The only thing that's confusing me is like, this is only news because Flacco's saying that something's about to, like, some type of investigation is going to come to a close and somebody's going to get picked up. Because when Draco passed, there was all these videos that are claiming all the same stuff that Flakko's pretty much claiming. I feel like that information's already kind of been put out there by like a Trap Lord Ross and all kinds of people.
The information is pretty much out there. I mean, for years I've been seeing it in the comment sections of like posts on YouTube. There's this group called Baby Stone Gorillas. They've hinted at who's done it. I've seen them in videos with the guy who did it, so, or who I think did it.
I think the difference is he's not saying one person is going to get picked up. He's saying a collective of people are getting picked up for this. And he's saying there's a famous, quote unquote, famous rapper that is going to get picked up behind it.
Okay. Now, if you're not familiar, I mean, you wouldn't be watching this video if you didn't know what happened to Drakeo, but what had happened to Drakeo the Ruler was he was doing a concert at the Once Upon a Time show in LA, and some things popped off between his crew, the Sting team, and Melting Pot, because it wasn't just one set, it was a few sets, and collectively at the show, and they ended up getting into a physical altercation, and from what it looks like in the video, Sting team bailed on Drakeo and left him there. And that's how he ended up getting stabbed by the person that they're not going to name. And honestly, I don't think it really matters because the guy's really a nobody.
Let's not ignore the obvious difference. The obvious difference is Trap Lord Ross just did his research and then made a video. He is claiming to have active contact with LAPD law enforcement. He's claiming to have ongoing contact with them actively. Trap Lord Ross never said that he had contacted the police. Trap Lord Ross said he got all his information from the internet.
And I think that Poetik Flakko may be saying this to give hints so folks don't try anything. So he may be trying to create a narrative so folks don't get any wise ideas about trying to do something to him.
The difference right here. That's what the controversy
That is
comes
true.
from.
But do you think LAPD is like cooperating with Flakko to release information to him, or he's releasing information to LAPD?
I really don't know, but it's just like actively having contact with real police. Like it's one thing to just cover what's on the internet.
And yeah,
we all see what's
I think he's looking at this completely wrong. Content creators don't live by a street code. They live by content first. And if your gangbanging or street code makes good content, and in the midst of creating that content, they can solve a case, then that's a win.
on the internet. Once it's on the internet, it belongs to the internet.
No, facts.
But when you are actually like going to the precinct and then you taking notes from the detail, you taking notes from the captain, and then you're like you doing all this weird stuff, like claiming to have direct contact with the police. That's what extends it into reality beyond media.
Like for me,
I think that the police got a lot of their intel from the internet because that's what gangbangers do when they score or they catch a win. They run straight to the internet and tell everybody. So, yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I don't endorse this type of activity in no shape, form, or fashion. But at the end of the day, I expect the civilian to act a certain way and do what they do. So, do I be on Flakko about this type of activity? No. Do I dislike it? Absolutely, yes. But
And that's the thing. He knows not to reveal or say anything around a media personality who could potentially spin it and make content out of it. And these media personalities don't have any, they don't owe him any type of allegiance outside of the workplace. And once you put it out there, it's out there. So, yeah. I guess we'll see what happens and how this case opens up and who ends up getting arrested and put in custody. But like I said, folks are hinting that it's gonna be YG because of the things I just mentioned, the beef history, the trail of deaths, and that's pretty much where we stand right now. So we'll see what Flakko does moving forward. I don't think he's gonna be down in LA much. He may not want to go to the No Jumper studio because type of stuff he's doing, I mean, LA gang members don't really care if you're plugged in with the police. They'll find a way to get at you, even if you have police connects. They'll just try to get you when nobody can track them, when nobody's looking. So with that being said, it's Trey on True Breakdowns. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell. Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys for being here. I am gone. Peace.